In every moment of every day, there are thoughts that are occupying your mind. But to what extent do your thoughts affect your life? According to psychiatrist Walter E. Jacobson, negative thinking is our enemy. It dampens our enthusiasm and motivation. It contributes to indecision, inertia, procrastination, and outright derailment of our goal-directed actions. It defeats us. Someone suffering from anorexia experiences extremely negative feelings on a daily basis. Today, we'll see how these thoughts affect a person with anorexia, why we can't always empathize with them, and how we can support them in their recovery process. Any number of thoughts could be the trigger which causes a person to begin having eating disordered thoughts. Why don't I look the way models look in magazines? Why isn't my stomach perfectly flat? Whatever the thought may be, it starts a domino effect of negative thoughts. Now, whenever this person looks in the mirror, all they can see are their imperfections. They can never exercise enough or starve themselves enough to feel satisfied with the image they see. This can cause a person great anxiety and even depression. Maria Hornbacher is the author of a memoir called Wasted, in which she recalls her experiences with anorexia. She writes, "You begin to forget what it means to live. You forget things. You forget that you used to feel all right, and you can't remember what it was like before." As you can see, the thoughts of someone with anorexia can damage all aspects of life. But just how well can you relate to these thoughts? Well, as it turns out, some people aren't able to relate very well at all. Many of us suffer from what is called empathy gap. Empathy gap is defined as the tendency to underestimate the influence or strength of feelings in either oneself or others. In other words, we can't see or feel the severity of the thoughts that another person is having. This makes it very difficult to comfort someone who is in a different state of mind than we are. Unless you are someone who has struggled with body image or has dealt with an eating disorder, these kinds of thoughts can be a very foreign subject matter. Maybe even unintentionally, we can be unaware of the influence that thinking can have on a person's behavior. Others say that those with anorexia are choosing to think those thoughts. But clearly, no one would choose to think hateful thoughts about their body voluntarily. The mission for an unachievable body is not one that anyone wants to be a part of. Just because we aren't able to empathize all that well, doesn't mean that there's no way to show our support. If you do know someone struggling with anorexia, there is a way to help. Since the behaviors of anorexia stem from negative thoughts about your body, we can try to change those thoughts to more positive ones. Remind them that the number on the scale doesn't define them. Remind them that everyone has a part of their body that they see as imperfect. This may be a slow process, but any remark about a healthy body image can be helpful. Hornbacher writes, "It is not a sudden leap from sick to well. It is a slow, strange meander from sick to mostly well. There is no cure. A pill will not fix it, though it may help. Ditto therapy, ditto food, ditto endless support from family and friends." For someone with anorexia, any step towards a healthier relationship with their body is a victory. There is another simple way to help those with anorexia. Just spread the word. The more people who know the symptoms and are familiar with the illness, the easier it is to recognize if someone is struggling with eating disordered thoughts. Being educated on the illness and sharing that information with others is an easy way to make a difference. In 2013, the National Eating Disorder Association started the tradition of having a National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. This week is dedicated to informing the public on not only anorexia, but other eating disorders as well. Treatment options are also something which is discussed during the week. An organization in your community can apply to become a partner for the NED Awareness Week. This means that the events throughout the week will be hosted there. It is a great way to get your community engaged. Once you are more informed about the disorders, it is easier to put yourself in their shoes. Although we are unable to actually experience the thoughts that someone with anorexia has, we are able to show our support in other ways. Now that you know the damage anorexia can do to a person's life, why not join the fight against it?